Hi, team. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming back to the kitchen. I'm Wendy, your chaos coordinator. Tonight, what's for dinner is mushroom topped pork chops. It's one of those meals where you're fixing it and you throw it in the oven, you pull it out, and you're like, well, dang, you could get this in a restaurant. So definitely worth it, but it is a little bit of effort. I'll tell you that out straight. We're going to be using my chopper tonight because we need to finely chop these mushrooms. We need to finely chop this red onion as well as this parsley. We're going to throw them all together in our mixing Pyrex with a little bit of butter and an egg. And that's what we're going to throw on top of the pork chops and then bake. So I'm going to let the camera run while I do all the fine chopping, but I'm probably just going to fast forward through that part so we don't bother anybody's ears. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Maybe one day we'll do an ASMR where I'm just doing the chopper. Okay, so go grab your chair, go grab your spoon, and come back prepared to tell me all about your day. All right, see you in a minute. All right. Our first step is to brown the pork chops in butter. Reach that bar. Oh, wrong side. Look. There it is. There's our Montreal McCormick's. Everybody repeat after me. Hello, McCormick. Give us a call. We're ready to cook with you. We'll leave that out for the other side as well. When you brown meat, it's kind of a high heat kind of a thing. But you gotta watch it because you don't want to mess up your butter either. Yeah. You want it to get brown, but you don't want to kill it either. You're not really trying to cook it all the way through. You're just trying to brown it. So 3 minutes, 4 minutes each side here. And I do have it on high. So high heat for 3 minutes-ish. And yeah, oh, I am breaking a rule. I'm using metal on metal. I'm just using it to turn it. Brown the pork chops in a pan. Dooby-dooby-doo-da-day. I'm going to be very careful not to actually touch. All right, let's check it out. That is lovely and browned on both sides. All right, we'll set that aside. Set those aside and we'll come back to the chopping department. Okay, so now we're gonna chop. We need a cup of finely chopped mushrooms, half a cup of chopped parsley, and 1/3 of a cup finely chopped red onion. So here we go. Let's start with the mushrooms. of the way. I overfilled it. Mom's tip, don't overfill it. Just lay the mushrooms out in a nice long line, and then you can just chippity chop a few of them at a time. Silly mom. Tricks are for kids. Oh, that was about a half a cup. We'll be doing that again. Same process, now in reverse. Reverse, reverse, y'all. Take it back now. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Okay, mushrooms are done. They now need to be sauteed in about a tablespoon of butter. So I'm going to get them going back there in the pan. While they're sauteing, I'm going to do the parsley and the red onion, and then we'll come back when the mushrooms are completed. Okay, here we go. I'm getting ready to do the parsley. And I am reminded that parsley fresh can be pretty strong once you chop it up. So although this recipe says a third of a cup of, is it a third of a cup, a half a cup? A half a cup of parsley. I'm probably not going to use all of that. My family doesn't care for the taste of the parsley that strong. So we're going to go with about a third of a cup on this. All right, and same process. I'm just going to make a nice little line and go down the line. Down the line. There you go. That'll work. 1 egg. Okay, a third of a cup finely chopped red onion. This is a 1/4 cup, so let's grab a third of a cup. Mushrooms are still going on. All right, so a third of a cup is going to be this whole thing. Hubby's home. It's okay if it all gets mixed up together because it's all going to get mixed up in the mushrooms and everything anyway. All right, so there we've got our third of a cup of onion. Dumping that in our handy dandy mixing bowl. Let me grab a fork and stir that up. All right, when the mushrooms are done, I'll bring them back over here. We're gonna add the mushrooms into this mixture and then top the pork chops and then pop them in the oven real quick. So be back in just a few minutes. All right, let's level set before we move forward. We started with our pork chops. We put them in this pan with a pat of butter and we let them brown on both sides. We took them out, we set them aside on this cooking pan. We chopped up a cup of white mushrooms and then we put them in this pan with a pat of butter and we let them saute. While they were sauteing, we finely chopped up 1/3 of a cup of parsley, and 1/4 of a cup of red onion. Then we added an egg and we beat that mixture together. Now, the next step is going to be to put the topping where on top of the pork chops. So I am just going to dump the mushrooms into our mixing bowl. Let me move this over so you guys can see. Everybody can see? Cool. We're going to pour that in there. And we'll mix this up real good. And then we're going to put this mixture evenly over the 4 pork chops here. So I just happened to keep out the 1/4 cup. And we'll start with that. Nice and even. Oop, dropped a little bit. It's okay. What's left, I'm going to scoop out of here and put on this last one. Now, these are going to go in a 350-degree oven for 40 minutes. At the 30-minute mark, we're going to take them out and just sprinkle some cheddar cheese on top, and then let it have that last 10 minutes to have the cheese get nice and browned, kind of crispy. And then, while these are cooking, I'm going to make rice, and I'm going to find a vegetable side dish. So those things are all going to happen. So now these guys are going in the oven, 350, 40 minutes, but at the 30-minute mark, we're going to stop, take them out, sprinkle cheddar cheese, throw them back in for another 10 minutes. 30-minute mark, we're going to take them out of the oven, put them right here, sprinkle some cheese on. They're going to go back in for another 10 minutes. So here they come. Hold on. Where did I put? Lord have mercy. I'm losing my mind. Table-ish. Okay, so now we're just gonna sprinkle some cheese on top. Let that cheese get good and melty. Rice is done. Hubby asked for carrots. Go with dinner. This is just going to take 10 minutes. So another 10 just to melt the cheese. I like it a little cheesy. I'm probably putting way more cheese on it than I think you're supposed to. Measurements are optional. Flavor to taste, as they say. All right, so here they are. And they're getting ready to go in for another 10 minutes, just to melt the cheese. Awesome. Okay, it's been 5 more minutes, and the cheese is nice and melty. So I'm going to go ahead and take them out now, and we will show you mushroom-topped pork chops. Delicious and ready to eat. So exciting. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to meet you out in the kitchen. I will plate this up, and then we will say our goodbyes. All right, see you in a minute. All right, we did it. We made mushroom top pork chops, and I am so excited to dig in. It smells delicious. It was so good chatting with you today, and I hope you join us again for more cozy, chaotic content. And like and subscribe and share. Send to someone who you think might want to join us at the table. There's 107 now. Can you believe it? So many new friends. Honey, we need a bigger table.
Get it.
All right, stay tuned for a Zen moment, folks. Happy eating. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.